Typical college student, backpack, looking at the phone right before the rewind. Hello, Kennedy Cavan on TexAgs Rewind, presented by Yeti.
Hey.
So offer some substance, some value to the audience today.
Nick Savage can in fact hit a 3-pointer against an SEC school.
Okay. Nick, that was a question that came up on the show. I'm sure you have something else you'd like to get into, but maybe you want to get into that.
I think that's an interesting topic. Is there anything else I need to get into?
Nick, anything?
Were you talking to me or her? But
I was talking to you, but she acted like I was talking to her, and now it's all awkward on the show.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
But I did say the name Nick.
Oh, I don't have my headphones on.
But did you not hear me say the word Nick?
No.
Oh, so you don't listen to what I say.
Mm-hmm.
David, all I would say to you is just lace him up. Let's go.
I'm ready, bro. For reals. On the show today, I don't have what we have on the show. Here we go. We had good games to watch. There are actually some really good games this weekend to watch. So we talked about that with OB. John Harris kind of gave us, he was a little more optimistic or just felt much better about A&M's performance this weekend. So we talked to him about that. Mark French getting us ready for the Ohio State game against, A&M versus Ohio State, I should say. And Peter Burns, he works where?
SEC Nation.
Why'd you say like you weren't sure? You're like, what's your name? Kennedy.
SEC Nation.
It's just TexAgs Rewind. Just watch it. It'll be good, I promise. Well, it'll be what it usually is, if that's good or bad. Go.
Yeah, Ole Miss is a top 10 team, or I don't know what they were ranked after last night, and they're going to Georgia, number 1, and so an SEC matchup of top 10 teams.
Yep.
And if look, Georgia's trying to be the number 1 team in the country, stay there in the playoff. This would be a big win for them if they can get it. For Ole Miss, if you can get this one.
Now you're in the conversation.
Now you're in the conversation to get into the playoff.
Would they pass all the one-loss teams?
I don't know if they pass them all, but they might. If you get a win over Georgia, now I don't anticipate seeing that.
Right.
And quite frankly, if Georgia was to just wear them out, I think I might want to watch that whole game.
Right.
To watch Georgia just pound on them. But that's a heck of a matchup to see.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I'm looking forward to that one. I expect Georgia to do what Georgia does in these games where people kind of forget how good they are, turn it on. Although the Missouri game was close.
Yeah. Yeah, Missouri gave them a run. Missouri's not bad.
Yep. What's the next one?
How about I don't know, again, what the updated rankings were, but it was number 13. Utah at number 5. Washington undefeated, looking like they could have this dream season. Utah's that team that sometimes you forget how good they are.
Yep.
Sometimes I think they forget how good they are. But, in a big game, Utah's just always dangerous. So I think this is one of those games where you think Washington's going to keep everything rolling, but Utah's that tough team that's probably going to play better defense than Washington has seen all season.
I agree with that 100%. Michael Penix, he is.
I think it's his to lose now.
Yeah, I agree.
After, Jaden Daniels wasn't bad, but.
They got 3 losses.
Yeah.
He didn't finish the game, obviously. Yeah, I think it's Michael Penix as well. Although, we'll see how LSU finishes out and if Washington stumbles here, but I still think he would have.
You know what I don't get? I don't get the national guys that keep pushing J.J. McCarthy.
It's kind of a tough question to answer, David, because I saw this for a long time with the Texans. I remember 2017 before Deshaun had gotten hurt. We had games. We went to New England. And we had a game where we're swapping haymakers, and it looks like we might win this game. But we settle for a field goal at the end, and then you're facing Tom Brady, and you're on the road, and Brady makes great plays, and then Brandon Cooks catches a touchdown and beats you within the last 15 seconds. It tears your heart out. Then we went to Seattle. Same kind of thing. We picked off a pass of 2:30 left in the game, but we can't run the clock out, so Russell gets one more chance. He goes down. He beats you. That was 2017. There was probably one other one. 2019, we went to the Saints. Deshaun throws this incredible touchdown pass with 30 seconds left. Are we going to pull this thing off on Monday night? And then, you find a way to make a mistake, and all you got to do is make one stop. And they had 8 seconds left, and that all they can do is throw a quick pass, timeout, kick a field goal. Well, don't give them the quick pass. And one guy just went brain dead, gave him a quick pass, and gave him the 5 yards needed for Will Lutz to kick a 59-yard field goal. My point in all that is, number one of the reasons we lost all those games was because we were facing an all-time quarterback, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees. We just lost all those games. Man, we had the heart. We had a few players that we could get in there, we could make plays, and we could be close, but we couldn't close the door. And it really hit me this Sunday when we beat the Buccaneers. And I'm going to get back to the Aggies in a second. We have 46 seconds left, and CJ just walks in the huddle and says, "I'm good. We're good. I got this. Give me time. I'll slice them up." 6 plays later, we've got to win. He scores in 40 seconds. So there's a part of it that the quarterback has a lot to do with it. And Jackson Dart was tremendous.
Let's put it this way. Texas A&M has never been to an Elite Eight in program history. Been to the Sweet 16 plenty of times. I got to be on one of those runs. Billy Kennedy certainly had some highs. Coach G certainly had some highs. Through the years, we've had great teams, but never been to an Elite Eight. And when I look at this team, preseason number 15, you got the preseason player of the year. You got plenty of pieces. What is this, year 5 for Buzz?
Yep.
It seems like so much is in place. And when I evaluate the landscape, you think about it, whether it's, UH, the SIPs, Tech, Auburn, Tennessee, Bama, Arkansas, you name it. These schools have busted through. They've made it to Elite Eights and Final Fours. And I think we're at the stage now where, we have a top 10 or 15 coach by any outlet in the country. We have a great roster. The fans are supportive. I think we had the second largest opening night crowd in program history the other night, over 2,000 students. So you can tell that trend is, that's a really good sign for what's to come. So overall, I put it this way. I think we have a 24-month window here where we need to bust through and find a way to get to an Elite Eight and, kind of break through that glass ceiling.
When you think about what's ahead non-conference wise, and it's like every other match, it's a pretty, it's a program. They may not all be ranked right now, but they're a program with rich history. Does it scare you? Does it excite you, considering there were some issues last year in the non-conference, but also this is a more veteran team that has kind of figured out their identity?
I think it definitely excites you. This is how every year should look schedule-wise. So check this out: 4 ESPN or ESPN2 games. So we're going to nationally televise versus Houston, number 7 in the country. Penn State, we get the tournament rematch. That's on ESPN. At Virginia, ESPN2, and then versus Memphis, ESPN2 as well.
And then there's, but they lose games at the end all the time. They've lost 9 straight on the road and yada, yada, yada. Where are you when it comes to A&M, considering how they played, but the way they've played over the last 2+ seasons?
I mean, both can be true, right? I mean, both can be true in the fact of, hey, listen, I mean, that's a tough place to play. The crowd, I didn't think the crowd was going to bring it. They did. I think Ole Miss is a damn good team that has a chance to upset Georgia this weekend. I think that's a legitimate chance of happening. And at the same point, I'm like, I keep looking at it going, why does Max Johnson look like he's backpedaling on every single throw he makes? And why can't they get this figured out? Why do they have these great athletes and they don't use the space and utilize the space? They seem to bunch everybody in. There's all these question marks about A&M, and you look at it and go, they look the part. Like, what just doesn't work here? And I don't know that answer. I mean, and I don't know if Jimbo knows that answer. And again, part of it is the difference between, each and every week, I think we see the difference between what Connor Wegman could bring as QB1 and Max Johnson. It's just, everything looks just a touch slower when he's in there, and it feels like it's a Herculean effort to make things happen. And so that's going to be on Jimbo, man. I mean, that at some point when you get paid that amount of money, you have to figure out what here in this equation is not working, because right now it's not.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I think isn't working. It's the offensive line, right? That line is, even though they looked much better in the second half against Ole Miss, but you've gotten too many quarterbacks hurt. And I used to make myself feel better saying, well, what would Alabama do if they're on their number 2? What would LSU do if they're on their number 2? And while all that may be true, it doesn't matter. This is year 3 of getting down to your backup, third string, yada, yada, yada.
Well, and I think a lot of that as well, too, is I'd like to see, and again, this is, and it's up to, this is going to be Petrino's offense and what they do is, you can't build, it feels like the last couple of years why we like Jimbo Fisher right off the bat, other than Kevin Sumlin, was like, hey, all right, the lines of scrimmage are going to be really good.
Cavs, tell the people.
Like, comment, subscribe, watch the actual radio show.
Have you actually ever subscribed to the YouTube channel?
I think so.
Do you get alerts when we do stuff?
Maybe.
Do you get on YouTube?
Not particularly a lot.
I'm done.
I get on there to watch my rainstorms to go night-night.
Okay, that's weird. We'll talk to you next time.